Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies. Welcome to my wife, who's worked very hard today, not getting the sleep she needs because she's still on the couch and I'm recording a video. So I'll try and be a little bit more relaxed than normal. And yes, when you hear my voice like this, it's usually one of these situations. Now, we're going to try something a little bit swifty and see if I can get some live recording done on Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Now that the game is a little bit better optimized, and I've installed a few essential mods to get the game running a little bit more comfortably and get some of the perks working properly. We'll see if we can't have us some fun. So let's start the campaign, and if all goes well and the game doesn't crash, then we should be able to skip the tutorial and the quotes story elements of the game entirely. They're not all that well implemented, and they're fairly bare bones as it is. On top of that, the story mode completely breaks the game with some fixes that have come in that help quite a bit, but not enough in my humble opinion. And now the question of the day: who will we be? I've already made a handful of characters that I found to be extremely fun, and as with the previous iteration of this game, my favorite thing has been the diving into the character. Call it light roleplay, shall we? Chick's wife, she's not into that kind of thing. Let's see. Construction speed. Yeah, I'm never going to use that. The XP from battles is really useful for training up my armies. Vlandia is always enticing for that reason. Sturgians are by far the coolest. See what I did there, Frigid North. And I hate to use the term Viking, but you know what I'm talking about. Vikings are cool. Aserai, in case you want to smell like an unwashed wiping hand. No TP shortage there. Khuzaits, if you want to introduce, syphilis? Now, syphilis came from sheep, so that's probably more along the lines of the Batanians. But I'm sure the Khuzaits have some kind of horse-related STD they've introduced to the world. So maybe what I'm saying is, how do you feel about Sturgia and Sword and Board? Less penalty from snow. Does it seem to you like this buff is a lot better than this one? Oh well. Now, beautiful character creation. And of course, one of the things that I miss from Mount & Blade 1 is the sexism. The female characters do not have any disadvantage when raising armies and trying to get respect from male nobles, and I kind of missed that. It felt like a little extra challenge to play a female character in the original Mount & Blade and have no one take you seriously until you bashed their head in a few times. It had a certain charm, but I guess the PC police have cracked down on that one. Rest in peace, gender dysphoria. And I know that's not the right term, but I'm an old man. I'm just going to use the words I feel like using. Chest hair in handfuls. And it looks like someone's pulled out a few. My goodness, man, you need a comb. What was I doing? There is... Low-pitched voice is always the most fun. I don't like that one. Oh, there we go, yeah. He sounds a little bit try-hardy. There's more voices than there used to be. When I first got the game, there was only one voice of... Jeez, he's got hairy legs, too. My goodness. This doesn't look like a Valandian to me. He looks a little more swarthy than one would expect. Let's work on that. Oh yes, purest white snow for skin color. In the frozen north, you gotta get your vitamin D somewhere other than the sun. You really don't look like a Valandian. How do I... Oh, sorry, you don't look like a Sturgian. You look like a Valandian. How do I fix this? Randomize face? Yeah, we're getting there. What's up with these? Nice liver spots from a life of alcohol abuse. Sounds like fun. Let's throw some facial hair on this guy and call it a deal so we can get into the gameplay. I think hair tab is where we want to be. And then for head hair, you can have the professional look or the unwashed hippie look. I think we'll go with baldness. Bald is beautiful. And get some professional looking face on there as well. Do we go respectable gentleman or forefather? What else can we... Oh yeah. Let's go Mercenaries 2 on this one. Where's my mohawk? I need a mohawk haircut to go with No Widow's Peak. The helmet cut. I don't know, it has a certain charm to it. He looks like a guy who might have to punch people in the nose on a fairly regular basis, having hair that stupid. This I don't even want to describe what this seems to imply. It's like a harness for your fun time partner. No, thank you. What do we got? Oh man. That is a lot of intimidation. That's alpha factor right there. You know what? Let's go with that. So, I'm starting to get a feeling for this character. What should we pick for our backgrounds? This is going to determine our beginning stats, and that matters quite a bit for the development of your character because you get 1 stat point for each one of these choices, whereas as you level up, you only get 1 stat point per 4 levels. So this is a much more significant way of setting up your character than the progress you're going to make as you level up, if that makes any sense. With that being said, I mentioned a certain sword and board build, didn't I? So let's see what our options are here. Rogue and throwing, attribute control. No, we don't really want that. Farmers are, in case you guys didn't know, the last person you want to go to war against is farmers. They're used to working hard all day and they've got nothing to live for. They've got massive families of big, strong men and thick, burly women when those run out. You really don't want to mess with farmers. Athletics and polearm point on endurance. That sounds like fun. And boyars, we've got riding and two-handed. That's not a bad call either, really. But the point is social, I'm not interested in, so farmers it is. Mom and Pop. What's that American Gothic, it's called? That famous painting of a mom and pop. Holy cannolis, we were an evil little bastard from the start. Look at that face. I wish I could zoom in. Another one of the things about Bannerlord is the uncanny valley when it comes to expressions. It looks like, what's that horrible game? Or sorry, what's that horrible pre-alpha they called a game in the Mass Effect series? Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, it's like that. Only if possible, creepier. So we'll go for brawn here. What do we get? Vigor. Yeah, we definitely want to focus on that. And two-handed and throwing skill. That's going to be helpful. So what else did we do? Repair projects. No. Worked in the smithy. Yeah. Two-handed smithing and vigor. You better believe it, buddy. Vigor, as you see here, is associated with all of your melee combat skills. Control is your ranged combat in all forms. Endurance is your mobility, either on a horse or on foot, and your smithing skill. Smithing being one of the best ways to make money if you have a certain mod installed. And I like smithing because you can craft the weapons you want instead of searching for them across the globe and hoping for good drops. And if there's anything a life with hemorrhoids has taught me, is you can't just hope for good drops. Anyway, what did we do in the military? See, Stuttgart, trained with the infantry, seems right for any kind of farmer boy. They always get shuffled off in that direction. And let's see, polearm and one-handed and a point on vigor. Yes, please. Looks like we start with a spear and a sword as well. That'll do us well. And of course, we defeated an enemy in battle. As the game sets off, this will be our last background story, and then we'll be jumping into the action. Let's see. Focus on one-handed and two-handed, a point in vigor, and a point to valor. And there you see our beginning stats. Vigor, again, your melee skills, we're going to focus on that. And mostly two-handed to start with, it looks like. And then our endurance is okay. That's our mobility stuff. Again, control's not so great, and neither is anything else, and I'm okay with that. Bloop. So, sorry, this is the last one. Of course. We subdued a raider. One-handed, athletics, and vigor. Looks great. Vigor skill. So hot right now. And as far as our character's name, our family name will be chosen in a moment, if the game doesn't crash. I still haven't tried a start with this new Just Let Me Play mod. But the name, again, remember we have a massive perm afro. So, what's the name of that painter that does the happy trees? I had his name in my head, and now it's completely gone. He did the show, The Joy of Painting. He's got the fro. You know what? It's just gone. I'm very tired. I mowed an apartment complex today. I haven't had... Actually, I did have my caffeine. I've got no excuse there. I'm just a tired boy. So... let's name this guy somebody else. He's a thick lad. He likes to smack people with hardened steel. He's from the cold north. Yeah. Why not? Let's start the legend of Santa Claus. So, friendly troops received damage. That's how much of a handicap we're going to give to our own troops. I like to put that at 2/3 just so we can play more aggressively. I could put it on normal difficulty, but it's just more fun when your troops are better. At least it is for me. Friendly parties and player received damage all the way down. Again, I could set it to normal difficulty, but I've found that I enjoy being more aggressive and active in battles, and that's just the way I enjoy playing the game. Same deal with recruitment difficulty and map movement speed. All these things are just going to help us to get into the action and play more aggressively and not have to play as carefully as you would if you played on a higher difficulty setting. And really, the way the world works, I love it. I love it. Wiggle, 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 boo, 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 wiggle. Oh, little wiggles. Look at those little sultry wiggles. Okay, let's move on. Bloop. So basically, we're playing on very easy settings in terms of general difficulty, just so we can play around and have more fun. That's my way of enjoying the game. I'm not trying to be some elite player as I crash the game. Skip the tutorial or crash. We will find out shortly. It's all so exciting. In fact, I don't even know if I'm recording this properly. That's also thrilling. So we'll just have to see. I did click the start game. Oh, and it's crashed. Well, that'll be fun. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.